Yo guys, what's going on? Got some more BT7 gameplay for you guys. So over on the right, we see a black and yellow build of Yellow Hybrid. So Yellow Hybrid featuring Chikurimon as well as some black powerful option cards like Ultimate Flare and maybe Iron Fist Onslaught, stuff, stuff like that. Just general good security control cards. I think Chikurimon is a very, very powerful card this format, just being able to digivolve Ancient Greymons, Jesmons, or even possibly like Serafimons, Suzanomons, etc. So there's really cool stuff this deck can do. And then I'm playing Blue Hybrid on the left, disputably one of the best decks in the format, if not just generally the best deck. It took Worlds, it topped at DigiFest, all the major events that have happened over the past couple of months. So I think really, really powerful choice for this format. We're going to see a TK Digivolve into a Kazimon plus Jet Sylphie, recovering one, and then running into the Hammer Spark in security, passing turn and putting me at 2. Unfortunately, not being able to trigger the Sora Joe because my opponent does have Digimon with materials on the field, but I'm going to just swing into security and then trash the bottom of the Jet Sylphimon, hitting a Holy Flame. That card is really, really powerful, I think, this format. And then I'm just going to pass turn by absolute blasting the Jet Sylphimon away and then getting rid of the bottom card of the Chikurimon there. So yeah, Holy Flare can just straight up prevent OTKs. Early game it's not very good, but late game it can definitely save you the game. So we're going to go ahead and run into security, hit into a Tommy, and then pass the turn. Or actually, no, I think he's still like one memory possibly. Yeah, he's a 1 right now, so he's going to play the Zoe, searching through the security. And then probably going to just pass turn by using the Tactical Retreat, which is another really, really powerful card because it's got that Holy Wave effect in security, and not only that, but then you can recycle the Chikurimon. So being able to swing with the Chikurimon, it living, and then you can Tactical Retreat it is really, really powerful. Now the problem is that I know it's a Chikurimon, so you're really just like buying yourself a turn, but it's still a pretty decent play for a cost of 1 because the Chikurimon's already done its job. Then we're going to swing with the Strabimon, knowing that it'll live, and then go into the Kumamon plus Beowulf, putting my opponent to 1 there, passing the turn, and then he's just going to swing with the Zephyrmon, Digivolve Jet Sylphie for 3 and recover 1. Since you can't reduce the cost because he doesn't have the Tamer, but you can still Digivolve and get the Digivolve effect because Jet Sylphie just needs to have a hybrid in the materials to do that. So we're going to be able to start the turn with 2, run into the security there. I'm going to strip the bottom from the Jet Sylphie with the Sora Joe, and then freezing it with the Tommy effect, running into another Tactical Retreat. So my opponent is just constantly healing. That's the cool thing about Yellow Hybrid. And this version specifically that's playing more Tactical Retreats and Holy Waves and more plays like security control than anything, is just that you really don't die. Like it's pretty hard to kill you, so you just kind of have to bide your time and wait it out. So we're going to play the Tommy to pass turn, and then my opponent is going to pass turn with his TK and Kari, putting me to 3, and then I'm going to start with 5 because of my Sword Joe, Digivolving the Madoki Betamon into the breeding area, and then Digivolving into the Hexablaumon, freezing the Jet Sylphie once again. Hexablau plus the Tommy underneath is so disgusting, man. It is really, really nice, but I'm going to hit into a TK in security, and then we're going to pass the turn after that with another Sword Joe. I apologize about that cut, but we're going to pass the turn with that, and then my opponent is just going to Digivolve his TK Kari into the Kaze Jet Sylphie combo, recovering 1, and then we're going to swing into security. It's going to die to the Beowulf, and then recover 1 again off of the Serafimon. Now, the unfortunate thing for him is, of course, because I've got multiple Sword Joes, I've got the Hexablaw as well, I can just swing into security with jamming, freeze the Serafimon so he can't check multiple security cards, and I'm going to gain 4 memory off of the Sword Joes next turn. So we're going to actually hit into the Chikurimon. Another reason why it is so good, because you can out floodgates like Hexablaw, so being able to de-digivolve that back into a Beowulf is pretty big. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to be able to just follow up with a really powerful play with the Pokemon, grabbing a +2 there, and then Beowulf, since now he's back to an ultimate, I can just use his effect to bounce a level 4 lower if need be. We're then just going to Digivolve into the Korikakumon, swing into the security, and then die to a Zephyrmon there because Korikaku is only 6,000. I'm going to pass the turn by putting my opponent to 4 by playing the Davis, but I don't think, unfortunately, I got any real value. I did bottom deck a Supreme Cannon, which is a little bit unfortunate, and then we're going to start the turn with 4 and then just play the Ultimate Flare since my opponent does have the Tsumemon in the breeding area. We're going to de-Digivolve the Beowulf and then delete the Boko plus Madoki. So clearing 3 Digimon off the field is really, really nice, and now I'm going to gain a bunch of memory with the Sora Joe. Now, the unfortunate thing for him is the fact that if you de-Digivolve a hybrid with a Tamer underneath it, the Tamer stays, so it like, you get value off killing the 2 rookies, but realistically, it's not the end of the world for me, because now I'm just going to evolve that Tommy again, Digivolve into the Korikakumon, freeze it once again, Digivolve into another Beowulf in my hand, and then swing and just add back the Korikakumon to reuse the following turn. Going to hit into another TK. We're going to grab the Reinforcing Memory Boost, the one of there, which is super powerful, and then playing another Pokemon from my hand. So this is what I mean, like, the fact that my opponent just gave me a bunch of memory to work with, I can just keep, like, putting out Tamers and Pokemons and stuff like that to just go through my deck, and you see I've got a lot of advantage racked up at this point. I can just play it slow, play my Tamers, and then just constantly poke at his security until I'm ready to go for a game. Conversely, he's only got a Seraphim on the field, which cannot attack, so he's not getting value off of the Sec Attack +1, and he's only got 2 TKs on field as of right now. I'm just going to play another Davis, reveal the top 3, and then I think I grabbed the Azulong there. That was really quickly. I didn't actually see, but I do believe I grabbed the Azulong, and then we're just going to pass the turn. My opponent is going to Digivolve into Kazimon for a cost of 2. Are we going to see the Jet Sylphie here? That would be a pretty solid follow-up, but no, we're just going to see the Zephyrmon for 1. I figured if he had the Jet Sylphie, he would have just done it immediately. We're going to swing security for 6,000, going to live, I believe that was a Boko, or maybe it was a Strawberry right there, and then putting me down to only 1 security card left. And I do want to say, I do apologize for the little bit of shaking on the camera. Our buddy was opening a box right next to us of BT7, so I do apologize for that. That was a big one. I do apologize for that. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and just pass turn probably, and putting pass turn with the Zoe and putting me to 7 memory with the double Sword Joe. Not going to grab anything out of that. And like I said, at this point in the game, I am just chilling. I've got 3 Digimon on field. I could potentially just start going for game, which I think is what I'm going to do. Check my hand if I need to keep all the Sword Joes, but no, I don't. So I'm just going to use one of them to trash the bottom, and then going to hit a TK Kari. So the Madoki Betamon actually did live. I've got double Korikakumon at the very least, so I think I've got more than enough resources to be able to go for a game. But if I do hit like a Holy Flame, or like double a Holy Wave or Tactical Retreat or something, it could end up being bad. But either way, I don't think it's going to be the end for me. So we're going to hit Holy Wave number 1. My opponent is then going to just recover, putting him back to 3, and I'm going to Digivolve into the Azulong. So that is what I added back. A Digivolve for 5, gain 2, and then it's going to check 3 security cards. The first hit is a Chikurimon, but fortunately Azulong is worded that he gains that Psych Attack for the turn, so I'm still going to be able to check the rest with the Beowulf, Holy Wave on the last one, swing with Pokemon, and then just going to show him a bunch of hybrids, and that's going to be game 1. So Azulong 4 game is pretty crazy. Game number 2, my opponent is going to start with just a TK for turn, so a pretty ideal opening. That's really all you can ask for, is either like a TK or Pokemon turn 1, and then we're just going to grab the Jet Sylphimon, put the rest at the back into the security sack. I'm going to hatch my Upamon, Digivolve into the Strawberry there, and then play a Davis. So seeing a Memory Tamer on my own is really nice, revealing 2 really solid choices. Going to grab the Korikakumon there, and then put the rest at the bottom, and then we're just going to play a Pokemon for a cost of 3, revealing the top 5, and then adding just a 1 there. So going to grab the Korikakumon, putting the rest at the bottom. Not going to grab a Tamer there, unfortunately, but I am set up for the next turn. You usually don't want to Digivolve your Davis, so it probably won't be the best to just follow this up with a hybrid. Now, I don't know what I was raging about there. I was like, you saw my hands like flailing around. I actually don't remember what I was talking about. Maybe it was the fact that Chikurimons are always into security. I don't know, but we're going to swing security with the Strawberrymon, revealing a Zoe, and then hitting a Jet Sylphimon, taking that off of the effect. I'm just going to play double Tommy to pass the turn, and then my opponent will start with 5 because he is down to 4 security with the TK Kari. So then we're going to Digivolve Zoe into the Zephyrmon for a cost of 2, Jet Sylphie for a cost of 1, going down to 2, and then recovering 1 off of the Jet Sylphie. So pretty strong start Now, if he had double TK Kari, he could honestly just kill, like, swing security or swing the Strabi and kill the Pokemon off of the TK Kari effect. But we're just going to swing the Strabi anyways, clearing that threat off the field, and then Digivolving into the Seraphimon afterwards, putting me to 3, and then recovering 1 once again. So a pretty strong retaliating play from my opponent. That's really what you want to do, is just see Jet Sylphie plus Seraphi or Jet Sylphie plus Dynus. But Seraphi is definitely better early game, and then we're going to just start Digivolving the Tamers, going to draw into the Syakomon there, so going to be able to put up a Floodgate next turn, going to Digivolve into Korikaku, Beowulf, and then a Hammer Spark to gain 1, and then Hexa Blau to go back to 0, and then swing into security, trashing, oh actually no, I'm just going to swing over the Seraphimon to clear that threat, and then just play the Sorjo, putting my opponent back to 4, and then he's not going to gain the TK Kari because of the fact that he's now at 6 security. So I was thinking I might just like swing security with jamming and like trash the Seraphimon, but I think clearing the Seraphimon is definitely not bad at all either, and we're just going to go into Jet Selfie number 2, and then recover again. My opponent is sitting at a nice 7 security, going to swing into security, hitting the Strabimon there, and then just playing Zoe to pass the turn. Going to look at his gigantic security stack. There is not going to be, I feel like there's got to be something, yeah. So he's going to take the Zephyrmon there, and then recover 1, putting the rest back, and then I am sitting only at 3 memory because, you know, I've got Sorjo, but he's got Digimon with material on field. So, but I'm going to probably just be able to start swinging with Hexablow. This is what I love about Hexablow, is the fact that I can just clear like level 5s and level 6s, because a lot of people are just like not really paying attention to the fact that if I go into a Mega, I can just start attacking over your stuff. So yeah, he got a security check, yeah, he got a recover, but I'm just going to be able to clear his Jet Selfie immediately and then pass the turn with another Tamer. Then we're going to see a Zephyrmon Digivolve on top of the Zoe, and then possibly... it would be cool if he had another Jet Sylphie, but he's already gone through 2 of them. Probably not 1 in security, because he probably would have taken it, but we're just going to swing security, I guess, for a 6,000 attacker, and then strip the Zoe off of the bottom. So now I've got a huge setup here, 5 Tamers. I'm going to gain a bunch of memory because he's going to just pass turn. I'm going to gain 2 off the Sorjo plus 1 off the mat, so I am starting with 6 memory, and then we're going to grab the other Jet Sylphie there off of the TK effect. Going to hatch my Upamon. I don't know if I have any rookies in hand, but it honestly doesn't really matter because I've got so much advantage like racked up right now. I can probably just start swinging, freeze the Tommy, or freeze the Jet Selfie, or sorry, freeze the Zephyr, you guys know what I mean. Freeze the Zephyr with the Tommy, and then going to hit a Holy Wave, or what's it called, Tactical Retreat, Holy Wave effect, and security, and then he's going to recover 1 immediately. So it's a little bit annoying to deal with, but I'm also like cool that my Hexaball is like not dying, so because I know he's playing like Ulti Flare and stuff, so probably should be playing around that a little bit more. We're going to swing Kendo into the security there, freeze the Zephyr again, but it's going to die because they're both 6,000. But I am going to then swing the Pokemon, hit into a Holy Wave, and then recover 1. Once again, play another Pokemon, reveal top 5. Going to grab either a Davis or a Tommy there. I've already got the Memory Tamer set up, but maybe I just wanted the extra searches. I was looking for hybrids or rookies or something. So going to grab another Davis and then just play the Davis, putting my opponent to 3. And then, yep, grabbing the Syakomon there. So I've got another Floodgate rookie set up for next turn, because now I've got the first one on field. He can't Digivolve Jet Sylphie for a cost of 1, so he's going to pay the 3 there. In that scenario, he couldn't have paid 1 regardless because he didn't have the Tamer, but he's just going to Digivolve the Jet Selfie, recover once again. And that's a solid play and all, but what is he going to do about my Hexablow, and what is he going to do about my field? Ulti Flare is a big answer here. If he does do that, that could clear basically my entire field. But again, it's like, it's not that big of a deal, because I've got the searches of the Pokemon, I've got another Syakomon in hand. It's really like not even the end of the world here. So we can just see maybe a Wyvern's Breath could out the Hexablow. That could be really nice. We're just going to Digivolve Kazimon though and pass turn, which I don't think is the correct play. You don't want to probably do that, because I'm just going to be able to swing, trash off the Hexablow, trash off the Sorjo, and then like freeze both of your guys. So we're going to do exactly that. So we're going to trash that, freeze the Jet Sylphie, and then strip the bottom of the Kazimon as well, hit into a TK Kari there, and then of course the Hexablow does get jamming. The Kazimon is not frozen as of now, because I've only got 1 Tommy and like underneath the Digimon as of right now, but I'm probably just going to evolve the other one so I can freeze the other Kazimon. So going to Digivolve Korikakumon, for a cost of 2, but then I gain 4 memory off of both of my Pokemons, going to freeze the Kazimon off of his effect, and then probably just going to start swinging security, and then hitting an Ultimate Flare, exactly what I was talking about. So de-digivolving the Hexablow, and then everything else but the Korikakumon dies. So I definitely should have been paying more attention to that. Probably not used to the fact that that most of these lists are not like playing like the purple option card and Wyvern's Breath and stuff, but usually not Ultimate Flare, because the black sources aren't as super common. But I do think the black source on Yellow Hybrid works really, really nicely. We're just going to see like double Strabimon there, so going to get a bunch of searches, adding that Sora Joe to hand, and then putting my opponent down to 3 memory. Now, I do believe we're both at 4, or no, my opponent is at 5 security cards, I think, and I'm at 4, so he will, again, still not gain off of the TK Kari there, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. I'm just be able to put him to 3, and then constantly just be able to, like, prevent him from reducing as well, because I've got the Floodgate coming out next turn. We're going to see another Jet Selfie Digivolve, recover 1, and then going to play the Zoe for a cost of 3 after that, or actually just going to Digivolve into a Dynasmon for a cost of 4. No effect on the Dynasmon, but of course he's got the passive once per turn effect, or if your opponent does like swing into security, or if your security is reduced in any sort of fashion, if you go to the 4, or like if you're at 3 or less, you get to then recover. So I'm just going to swing Korikakumon, trash the source off the Sora Joe, and then freeze it with the Tommy effect. I'm going to swing into security, and then hit the Chikurimon. Chikurimon will have to proc, so we're going to Digivolve into de-digivolve the Tommy, or in the Korikakumon into the Tommy, and then it is going to be suspended since I did swing with the Korikakumon, and then going to hit the Beowulf off of the Davis there. So you see my back row is getting like really, really big, and I think I am leaving him at 4 here because I don't want to trigger the Dynasmon unless I absolutely have to. So I'm just going to play the Sora Joe, knowing that my opponent most likely will not have a way to Digivolve the Dynasmon unless he like hard Digivolves Suzanomon, but at that point he's passing turn anyway, so I really don't care. And then also leaving my opponent at 4 because we do both have 4 security, and I don't want him to gain off of the TK Karis he's got. And then we're going to hit the other Sora and Joe in security. Jet Selfie will minus 2,000 from the TK Kari onto one of the Strabbies, and then Chikurimon will hit into the Zulong in security, putting me down to 1 security card. So my opponent has got me down pretty low. If he's got another hybrid here, he could definitely swing there, but he's got, unfortunately, not enough tamers that are unsuspended. So if he possibly... he probably doesn't have double hybrid, because if he did, he probably wouldn't have suspended both TK Karis, because he's got enough memory, so he could have just like gone for game there. But that leads me to believe he probably only had like 1 hybrid in hand at the moment, because we know he's gone through all his Jet Selfies. And yeah, so exactly what I was talking about. He's just going to hard Digivolve to Suzanomon, which is definitely not ideal. He wastes it on just like not being able to recycle cards, but he did avoid me like gaining like 10 memory. I basically would have gained 6 off the both all the Sora Joes, and then 1 off of the Matt, starting with 10. So that's pretty crazy. He definitely would have lost if that would happen, because I would have like quintuple hybrided him. So we're just going to swing into security, hitting a Holy Wave, and then going to recover 1. But now I don't have to deal with the Dynasmon, so that is another saving grace. So I basically forced out his hand, and then we're just going to also remember to trigger the Sora Joes to trash all of the sources, then going to Digivolve Korikakumon, freeze the Suzanomon, swing into security, bounce back the Korikakumon, and then freeze the Jet Selfie off of the Tommy, and then hitting the second Holy Wave in security. So again, still keeping my opponent at 4, and if he does have double hybrid, that could be a little bit unfortunate, but the cool thing is he will not start with more than 3. So I realistically, like that's fine. If he's got double hybrid, he has to have like double hybrid plus like Blinding Ray, and I don't think he's playing Blinding Ray, but anything's possible, you know. As long as he doesn't have a way to gain memory, I don't think I lose here. So then we're just going to unsuspend his Digimon. They both can't attack, and then we're going to Digivolve the Chikurimon in the breeding area here. Just to try to draw more cards. So his deck is running a little bit thin. So at this point, not sure what he could really do. He's not playing, like I said, he's not playing the elite ultimates or lower up to the number of tamers you have, but he is playing like the Ulti Flare and Iron Fist Onslaught. Ulti Flare could be pretty big here, just getting rid of 2 bodies, but I have so many tamers on field, and at this point, like if you guys look at my hand, I've drawn through so much of my deck. There's no way I don't have at least like 2-3 hybrids in my hand. That's the cool thing about Blue, because it's so consistent, because you can get through so many of your cards. You usually, by the end of the game, you usually have a couple of hybrids that like you can stack like 2 to 3 times, being able to swing multiple times. So we're going to run into the Beowulf there, suspending both the TK Karis to -2000, putting it to 7000, and then crashing with the Kazemon. That is a little bit unfortunate, but he kind of does have to just get rid of as many Digimon as humanly possible here. And then we're just going to start my turn with 10 after playing the TK there, and then going to grab the Kazemon. So that's probably the second hybrid he needed a little while ago. And then we're just going to Digivolve the Madoki, swing into the Wyvern's Breath with the Strabimon. That is totally fine. And I'm just going to start Digivolving into hybrids here. So we're going to Digivolve Korikakumon, freeze the Susanoo, freeze the Jet Sylphie by attacking, run into another TK Kari here, Digivolve into the Korikakumon off the Davis, swing into Security, swing into Serafimon here, Digivolve the Davis into Kumamon, and then just start swinging, and then we've got the last Kumamon for game, and plus I had a bunch more in my hand. So guys, that is going to be game. Blue hybrid, crazy strong deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this cool iteration of yellow black security control slash yellow hybrid. But anyways guys, that is going to be the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.